Mazza in the chat, good evening.
Welcome to Miami.
Indeed. Oh dear. That's leaking. Anyone else get these energy drink shakers and then they leak all the time? Very annoying. One reserve seat left for Blobby Monday at Silverstone if anybody is interested as well. So do drop us a message if you fancy that. There's a couple of regular league racers out today. Oh, we seem to have lost Syme there. Hopefully we'll get him back. There we go then. It is short qualifying around the Hard Rock Stadium, home of the Miami Dolphins. You may notice I'm wearing the Denver Broncos as usual. Let's just quickly not do that, but pause to invite Syme back. And then sort this bit out with the lap data and the track map. And then let's see who's on their way. I saw a car move out just a second ago there. And it's Easy Life in the Kick Sauber, who is the first one onto the track. Just 15 in at the moment, with Syme rejoining hopefully. And I think a few missing, unfortunately. It is, of course, that summer season where people go on holiday, etc. A few others coming out on the track now, including Craggy, the Hammer, Colin and TMK. No Max this week. Brad still missing as well. So maybe an opportunity for some of the others. Easy Life, the first to start a hot lap, and he's just going to be nicely avoided there by the Mercedes coming out of the pits and out of the way kindly. Difficult pit lane, this one, that throws you out right into turn one. $18-minute qualifying session then, followed by 29 lap race. Flashing yellows in sector 1. There's just some people coming out of the pits, I think. No damage there. Easy Life comes through the last couple of corners. He's going to set the benchmark at 129.0. Let's go to Craggy, who you would expect to be beating that. And does. 126.2 from Craggy. Newt taking no chances, getting right out of the way there, and it seems that everybody almost is out on the track now. And we have got Syme back in the room, but he has invalidated. Here's TMK on medium tyres, 128.7 for him, 127.5 for Colin. Here comes Senna. Senna, who showed good pace so far this season, hammered us a 150, and Senna a 127.0 up to P2. Good lap from him. Easy Life back into the pit lane. Then come the two Mercedes. Syme is going round again. 50 Gent as a 129.2 and is in P6. Here is Smug, and it's a 136.9 for him. Well down there. Mr. Pickle did a 128.4. Couple of others on their way round now, including Joker and Rouge Nico, who's coming through the start of that. TMK 128.2 up to P4. As this Miami qualifying session starts to take shape. Sloth 129.9. Again, he'll want to improve on that. Here's Al Newt, he's in sector 1. Joker 127.2, and it's P3 and 4 for the Aston Martin team at the moment. Not anymore, as Syme does a 127.3 and splits them. Sainzy's up there in the V car with a 128.1. Just Newty, Swanton and Nico to set a lap. It's going to be Rouge Nico next. Swanton will begin his attempt. Unless that was Sloth going to the pit. But it's a 128.4 for Rouge Nico, very near to his teammate. It was Swanton just starting his hot lap behind. TMK's going round again. Sloth this time goes to P6. 127.4. Smug has improved to P5. Also 127.4. And his teammate as well, Mr. Pickle. So three of them in the 127.4s. 5, 6 and 7 now. Pushing Colin down to 8th. Who is on his way back out. In goes Sainsy. The two V-Carbs, two Red Bulls, sorry, are coming back in. TMK's making the most of being on medium tyres and getting some laps in. Swanton then is nowhere near the pace, so he's doing his double outlap. Yeah, and that's a 136. Everyone's on the board now. Al Newt did a 130.0. So all 16 are on the board. Hammer with a lot of work to do to get up with the pace. Swanton likewise, but we know about what he usually does. TMK's up to P9 now, ahead of Sainsey, 128.0. Al Newt, 128.1, has gone up to P11.
Evening, buddy.
Good evening to Magnatex in the chat. Looking forward to Silverstone later on. Senna on his way again. 8 tenths to find on Craggy. Who looks in a league of his own at the moment today. But we'll see what Senna does. And also keep an eye on Swanton's time as he's about to come over the line, and there he goes. 127.3 for him and P5. Now any improvement from Senna? Not at the moment. Colin is back out as well, and he is making some improvement. Indeed, he's up almost half a second. This could be front row. This could be front row material for Colin. Around the last couple of corners he comes. And hits the line. 126.9 for Colin. And P2. It is indeed the front row at the moment for the Aston Martin driver. Senna, no improvement from him. Joker finishing an outlap, as is Smug. Swanson's still out there. I think he's on an in-lap. Symes slightly up on his time. What has he got through Sector 2? He's got a bit of a loss. We will stay with him though. What about Sainsey? Sainsey making improvements. And can Sainsey jump up into the top 10? No, he's in the pits. And Syme also. Joker's improving again. Just seen his teammate go to P2. And he is tearing time off here. He could be replacing his teammate on the front row here. Could Joker. Aston Martins have not come to mess about today. It's P4 in the end for Joker. 127.0, just losing it in the last sector to Senna there. But ahead of Syme, Swanton and Smug. The DRS founding trilogy. Next is this man, Sloth, who's currently in P8. But what's he doing on this lap? He's down on his time. No one else really on track at the moment. Joker's second over now. Craggy is on track though. But I think way down. Let's have a look at TMK as he's on a hot lap. Didn't see his sector 1 time there. Just missed it. Caution in sector 3 for some people going a bit slowly on the main straight. TMK taking 4 tenths. He needs a bit more to climb further into the top 10. 3 minutes remains, so I expect a huge amount of traffic coming out of the pits in the next minute and a half. TMK is going to come to the line, and it's 1:27.2 and all the way to P5. Massive final sector from TMK, and the Haas goes to 5th. Good work. 2.5 minutes remain. Senna starts his hot lap. Craggy is crawling round very slowly indeed, causing yellow flags as he goes. So he's just getting geared up for a last attempt. TMK, a fantastic lap to put him P5. His teammate is also on a hottie, Rouge Nico, and he's improving as well. Needs a bit more to get himself into the top 10. Just a couple of minutes left now. And Rouge Nico is up to the line, and P11 ahead of Sainsy. 1:28.1. What else can we see going over the line? Mr. Pickle starting a hot lap. TMK coming back to the pits. Colin is out. He thinks he's done enough. The Hammer did improve to a 1:29.2, but is last of all at the moment. Everybody just getting away onto their hot laps. Syme tearing some time off. 50 Gent just going over the line in time, as does Joker. We're with Smug now. And he has not improved, but hits the line in time with 30 seconds left. Syme to P4 with 1:27.0. He can try and go again. Off is a McLaren. That's Craggy. Craggy may be waiting to be the last one to start a lap, perhaps. Al Newt just behind him does hit the line as well. And a red ball behind them of Mr. Pickle. So he'll be the last one home. TMK is invalidated, so we don't need his lap. Hammer is 6 tenths up on his time at the moment. Checker flag flies. Is the Hammer going to get off the bottom? He's followed by Senna, I believe. And the Hammer jumps off the bottom. Senna improves slightly, I think. but not in position-wise. Hammer goes to 14th. A Mercedes 50 Gent now takes 14th, so Easy Life will start at the rear of the field. Swanton is in 3rd at the moment. Next round will be Sloth, followed by Syme. Sloth, 127.6, doesn't improve. Syme, into the pit lane. Sainsey is well down on his time. Rouge Nico. Rouge Nico, no improvements. The McLarens are coming. Craggy's into the pits. Al Newt's into the pits. But he's probably done enough, hasn't he? Swanton's well down. He's on the way to the pits. That just leaves Mr. Pickle. He's well down. So that's going to be that. That's going to be that. And Craggy takes pole from Senna with Swanton and Colin on the second row. Ahead of Syme and Joker. TMK, Smug, Sloth and Mr. Pickle round off the top 10 from Sainsey, Rouge Nico, Al Newt, 50 Gent, The Hammer and Easy Life.
Well done, Senna. Page 2, let's go.
Indeed, Senna on the front row. Bazza delighted with that. Craggy on pole. Swanton and Colin from Simon Joker. TMK putting the Haas right up there in P7. Then Smug, Sloth and Mr. Pickle. Of course, after the short break, I will take you through the tyre choices on the formation lap. I will also take a short break to get another drink. Just make sure it loads in. Good evening to King Kong, who's missing the racing tonight, but he's in the stream. Sainsey to turn P11 to a race win in the rain in Miami. Massive, massive rain here. And I'm sure the DRS race build-up suggested no rain. I can't remember where it was now. Rain probability 0%, folks. Well, there you have it. It is absolutely bucketing it down in Miami. I'll be back in time to take through the tyres, which I'm sure will all be wet anyway, on the formation lap. I'll be back shortly. Give it a minute. Okay, welcome back then. And shortly we will be seeing the cars on the grid. And by the looks of this rainfall, it's going to be wet tyres for everyone. Of course, I don't see the weather forecast that the drivers get on their radio or on their pre-race screen. So I've got no idea if it's going to continue to be full wet or go into some dries. You'll just have to wait and see. And I'll just have to call it as it happens. Those of you who are also watching one of the drivers' streams, maybe can come in chat and let me know. I know Bazza is Senna's race engineer in that respect. And he will be on the front row. Bit of a prolonged pause this week. Obviously the countdown doesn't come up at the top anymore, which is a bit unnerving. Someone in chat will let me know, I'm sure, if I've been desynced or kicked out of the session, which has happened before. Here we go then. It is the formation lap. As we suspected. In fact, Colin is going for a gamble. Full wets for everyone except the Aston Martin in P4 of Colin, who goes for intermediates. Interesting indeed. It certainly looks like a full wet track at the moment, but and TMK and Smug have been disqualified. So some contact on the formation lap. TMK and Smug have been reset to the grid. Amazon says a one-stop strategy, wets to wets. But has Colin cracked the code here, or has he been reckless with a gamble from fourth place that may cost him? We will find out momentarily. You'll already have some idea, because even on the formation lap you can see, you can tell a bit. The spray is quite such that you can't see much of the cars behind. The kind of heavy rainfall that usually sees modern day F1 abandoned for a little while. Not like the good old days. They're going to give this awful view of the start. They are. Ruznicko disqualified for his parking. And we are ready. They're going to give us an awful view of the start here. So I'm going to go on board with Senna. Lights out and away they go. Craggy was very good off the line and streaks away in front. Senna goes through into P2. Colin already trying to make a place and does into P3. Or does he? Swanson is going to try and fight that back. They're side by side, Swanson and Colin. And Colin has got there first. He's in P3. Sainsy had a dreadful start. He's dropped to 15th. Bit of a power slide there from Senna. Al Newt's made some places. He's battling with Ruznicko further back. They're side by side. They've got Alpine right in behind them is the Hammer. Can't see a lot in the spray at the moment, which just shows you how difficult it must be for the drivers as they all try and come through there. And the Hammer's made up a place on Ruznicko as well now. Or he's trying to as he goes around the outside. And he gets his elbows out. They go through there together, which isn't advisable. And the Hammer loses out. Meanwhile, at the front, Craggy has a gap. Colin is side by side with Senna and is going to go up to P2. So maybe the Inters were a stroke of genius from Colin. Up the inside. Senna can't turn in on him, and now Senna wobbles a bit in towards the wall. Swanson has spun or hit the wall. Swanson is in the wall, but has managed to keep his front wing intact, but has now dropped to P12. And is now chased by the Hammer. So all still managing to get through on to lap 2 of 29. Craggy has a second gap to Colin, but Colin's trying to close it. Senna in third from Syme, then Joker. Smug and Mr. Pickle have had solid starts in 6 and 7 from TMK in 8th. Then Sloth and Al Newt. And Al Newt makes the move to pass Sloth and up to P9. Swanson making his way back through the field. Hammer and Ruznicko are at it behind the two Ferraris. Meanwhile, Syme is passed by Joker. And now Swanson and Sloth side by side, the Ferraris ghosting together. Hammer's in there as well with Ruznicko. That's going to be a squeeze. A very tight squeeze in there. Swanson managed to get ahead of his teammate and back up into the top 10. They now chase Al Newt as Craggy sets the fastest lap of the race. Swanson with some slipstream now on Al Newt. Looks to dive up the inside. Makes it, does he? Not quite. But we'll keep going. And Al Newt. And Hammer is off. Something's happened to the Hammer. He's dropped to 15th. And just behind Sainsy. Sainsy's got a broken front wing as well. That's all gone wrong somewhere for him. 50 Gent Rouge Nico as Swanton continues to harass Al Newt. Going for the outside this time. And gets it done. So Swanton back up to P9. Al Newt followed through by Sloth and Rouge Nico from 50 Gent. Easy Life's made up a couple of places on the hammer, and Sainsy, who both have broken front wings. Colin is right up now with Craggy, and if the rain is easing, Colin could be a stroke of genius for starting on inters. Sets the fastest lap of the race, and now he's going to try and go up the inside, is he? No. Smug's into the pits. Early stop for Smug, and it's intermediates for Smug. So he's obviously seen what Colin has been able to do. Hammer is also in the pits. That'll be a front wing change as well. But he's obviously seen the pace that Colin's got on the intermediates. The rain is lightening. And it's going to be intermediate time, and Colin, being already on them and about to take the lead, could have just worked this perfectly. At the moment he can't get past Craggy, but they've now opened a gap of 3.5 seconds back to Senna. Swanton making his way through another place, passing TMK. We'll stick with the leaders. Be interested to see who else goes through a pit. Craggy goes inside defensive. Colin's just got so much more grip. Colin's going for it again up the inside this time. And Craggy somehow stays in front, but for how much longer? Because Colin's now got the line, and Colin's now got the lead. Into the lead goes Colin. Rouge Nico is the next into the pit lane, as are Easy Life and Sainsy. Smug jumps back ahead of those three. Hammer quite a bit behind, might not get the jump on them as they exit the pits now. It's going to be tight actually. Keep an eye on that. Hammer goes past two, maybe not. He's right alongside and in amongst, and he ends up ahead of Sainsy and behind Easy Life. The rain is almost stopping, I can tell you. Certainly not as heavy as it was on the grid. So we'll see just how quick Smug is, and the others on the inters. He's catching 50 Gent rapidly. And Colin is building a lead. Craggy is into the pits. So Colin, stroke of genius. Syme is also in the pits. Joker and Senna have gone through. Mr. Pickle is in the pits. Let's just see how many of these Smug's going to get. Swanton's continuing. Al Newt is continuing. TMK is in the pits. Smug set the fastest lap of the race and is going to continue to climb above Syme. Or is he? No, Syme's out just ahead of him. 50 Gent maybe doing a rear gunner job there on Smug for Syme. Aston Martin are now 1 and 2 because Joker's ahead of Senna, but not for long. Joker will leave it in there. And Senna just gets the place. These two have both stayed out on the wet tyre. Smug finally getting past 50 Gent. 50's going to fight him. Syme using this time to get away a bit. Sure, there'll be more pit stops coming shortly. Senna back ahead of Joker. The Aston 1-2 did not last too long.
I hope Silverstone ain't raining low.
Colin sets the fastest lap of the race in the lead, and Senna and Joker are in the pits. So Craggy will come back through for P2. Swanton in the pits as well, and surely Al Newt will follow him. Yes, indeed. So Syme will go through and go up into P3. It's worked well for Syme, this. And it's worked well for Smug. Senna's exiting the pits. And it hasn't worked well for Smug. He's continued to stay. He's in P6. He hasn't quite made it ahead of Senna and Joker. Swanton rejoins ahead of TMK, I think. TMK, then Al Newton, Rouge Nico, Sloth and 50 from Easy Life, Stainsy and Hammer. So everybody is now pit except race leader Colin, who had the foresight to start on the Inters. Craggy is second, from Syme in third, big gaps. Then Senna, Joker and Smug right in behind. And a gap to Mr. Pickle from Swanton TMK. He's got Al Newt and Rouge Nico for company. And Sloth, who's lost out a bit. Colin continues to set fastest laps of the race. But I think Craggy's going to break that cycle and set the fastest lap himself now, as he has closed this lap. And indeed he does. Everybody's gone to Inters, but how close are we to dry tyres? That's the next question. It is still raining. There's no sign of DRS just yet. We're on lap 8 of 29. All 16 are still running. We've had a couple of minor incidents involving Stainsy, the Hammer and Swanton individually. Rouge Nico close to the back of Al Newt. Easy Life, Stainsy and Hammer very close to the back of 50 Gent in the battling at the back. Senna finds himself stuck behind Syme now. Joker and Smug not far back. Rouge Nico continues to try and get to Al Newt. It's a difficult track to overtake on when there's no DRS, Miami. As Easy Life and Stainsy are finding out. Stuck in behind 50 Gent. Senna's getting close. Craggy, fastest lap of the race. As he tries to plug that gap that Colin gained with his superb strategy. Magnetent says he hopes it's not raining at Silverstone later on. We will find out, of course. Couple of reserve spots available if anybody's wanting one for tonight. Do let us know, we'll get you in. Senna continues to try and find a way past Syme, or a way to cause a mistake from his rival. Side by side are Easy Life and Sainsy. Sainsy up the inside. Easy Life's going to try and hang it around the outside though. This is close racing, wheel to wheel. And Sainsy just makes the corner first. Craggy again with the fastest lap of the race as he continues to eat into that lead to Colin. Senna just dropped off a bit there from Syme and into the clutches of Joker potentially. As the Aston Martins seek a double podium. These two are the closest now on track, apart from Hammer catching Easy Life right at the very rear. We'll keep an eye on those two. Sainsy trying to get 50 gent now, having cleared Easy Life. Sainsy all into the back maybe of 50 there. Bit of a love tap. Joker and Senna still right in behind Syme. Hammer passes Easy Life. Is Senna going to get the run out of the corner he needs? No, he is not. Collins lead now 13.6 seconds. Craggy is taking about a second a lap at the moment. Out of that time. And off is Sainsy and Hammer. I think Sainsy and Hammer have come together. Hammer's got a broken front wing and is on his way to the pits. Sainsy maybe got caught up in that. He's not got any damage. Hammer into the pits. Having broken his front wing there. And he's going to gamble. He's gambling for dries. And this could work out very, very well or very, very badly. It is still raining. I think it's a bit early, but seeing as he had to pit anyway, let's go for it. He is going to be, he's about to be lapped by the leader. So let's just see if he can keep up with Colin once he is lapped. Colin's lead, another second is gone. It's 12.4 now. Joker having a look. Close again. But not quite. Let's keep an eye on that gap from Hammer to Sainsy, which is in the 28s at the moment. If it goes up, You know Hammer's done the wrong thing. He has! Because there he is spinning round. And now he's broken his wing again. So it's not been a good gamble for Hammer. Going to take him a while to get used to lead racing. This time it's Syme and Senna who are going to go side by side. And Senna goes to the inside. Syme goes deep and defends. Senna running all the way round. Can he get up the inside of him? Joker around the outside's trying to get involved. Great racing, these three. Great racing for these three. And into the barriers there went Hammer again, I believe. Was that Hammer again who hit the barriers? I think it was. As he's being lapped by those three who are battling. Easy Life has been passed by Sainsy. And Joker now makes the move. No, he doesn't. Senna's got a 10-second penalty, speeding in the pits. But three of them are in. So this could be the dry tyre moment. Smug, Senna and Syme are in the pits. Mr. Pickle's also coming in. The rain has stopped. Swanton is in the pits. TMK is in the pits. And Al Newt is in the pits. Ruznico. Sloth. Everybody's coming in. There's a yellow flag flying somewhere in amongst all of this. Good evening to Cam in the chat. A mixture of mediums and hards going on. Everybody literally has come into the pits on this one, apart from the front three. They are Colin, Craggy and Joker. Into the pit lane now comes Colin. Craggy will surely follow, and so will Joker. But have they all been undercut? Joker especially was right in the battle with Senna and Syme. So it'll be interesting to see where they come out. Senna is ahead of Syme at the moment, but has a 10-second penalty. Colin's gone on to Inters. Colin's previous genius has surely been outdone now by a brain fart from the mechanics. He's gone on to new intermediates when everyone else is going for dries. Oh no! Disaster at Aston Martin is surely going to have to pit again. Joker, more disaster for Aston Martin as he's been undercut by Senna and Syme. And now he comes out just ahead of Smug. So it's not worked well for Aston Martin in these pit stops to dry tyres. Colin is on Inters and is surely going to lose time hand over fist now. All the good work put in on the Inters when everyone else was on the wets. And it's now surely going to cost Colin. Though at the moment, it still remains about 9.5 seconds clear. So Craggy's not made up too much on this lap, but it is around the turnover point, and he is going to have to pit again. Colin is into the pits again, and that is going to cost him at least the lead, and maybe more. Sloth making a move on Al Newt for P10. DRS is now enabled. Craggy takes the lead of the race. Is Colin going to get back out ahead of Senna and co? Yes, he is. So not as costly for Colin as we thought. Senna with the fastest lap of the race. Rouge Nico's picked up a penalty now. But that is surely going to cost Colin the chance of a race victory. Swanton now the fastest lap. Syme right on the case of Senna. The Red Bulls are running nicely to 6th and 7th, but Swanton is now catching Mr. Pickle rapidly. 50 Gent passes Rouge Nico. And that's for P12. Newt continues to stick with Sloth. And we've got yellows. I think maybe for Hammer again moving out the way to be lapped. All 16 of them still running. King Kong pointing out Colin's tyre mistake there. Craggy fastest lap of the race once again. Al Newt back past Sloth. Syme is going for Senna. And wide goes Syme into the wall. Syme has overcooked it. Going for the overtake. And Senna switched him back as he hit the wall. I think it was gently enough, but it didn't do any damage. But gave Senna some breathing room. Joker now might fancy getting involved as well, as Sloth and Al Newt continue their own private battle. And Newty tries going around the outside. Hammer's in the pits again, maybe to give up. As he's now a lap behind nearly everybody. 50 Gent side by side with Rouge Nico. And Rouge Nico's gone very deep to try and keep that place, and that didn't work well. And 50 Gent saw it coming and said thank you very much. And up to P12. Swanton continues to try and chase down Mr. Pickle. Hammer, to his credit, is hammering on. He is being lapped by Easy Life. So he is a lap behind everybody now. Craggy fastest lap of the race again. Now Newton Sloth side by side again. Sloth dives it back up the inside. Lovely move for him. Al Newton's going to try and do the same back though. And a bit of contact for good measure. Joker sets the fastest lap of the race now in pursuit of Syme. And Syme is back within striking distance of Senna. Swanton could be making the move. Fastest lap of the race for him. And up the inside of Mr. Pickle. As Swanton up into P7. Good move for him. Recovered well since that early incident where he dropped to the tail of the field nearly. Newty going for Sloth once again. This has been the battle of the day. And they're both at it again. And Al Newt is back into the top 10. Mr. Pickle trying to close back up to Swanton. Craggy again says the fastest lap of the race. Senna at the moment set to lose 3 places as with his 10-second penalty as Sloth and Al Newt continue their battle. Mr. Pickle sticking with Swanton for pace. Syme now right on the case of Senna. And Joker is right in there with them. So this three-way battle that started on the intermediate stint is now continuing on the dry stint. Will we see anyone box for softs towards the end of this race? Depends, of course, on whether there's a safety car, because that will surely lead to another mass of pit stops. Senna, Syme, Joker, all in a line. Craggy, fastest lap of the race once again. Looks to have it sewn up. No change in the order between these three at the moment, but there's a good battle going on. Mr. Pickle sticking with Swanton as they try and close on this battle. Newty now has a penalty, and that's going to cost him his battle with Sloth. He was just falling away from anyway. 50 Gent leads Rouge Nico, also has a penalty. Swanton fastest lap of the race. So credit to Mr. Pickle for sticking with Swanton here, as it's race lead pace that they're doing. 50 and Rouge Nico side by side. Don't squeeze each other there, boys. One of you will hit the wall. 50 manages to stay ahead, but for how long? Rouge Nico's going to go for it again up the inside. He got this wrong last time, and he's got it wrong again. And he's spun and off as Syme, Senna and Joker. Some kind of coming together, I think, because Joker's managed to pass both of them. And Aston Martin double podium is back on all of a sudden. Syme losing out there. Craggy fastest lap of the race once again. The more times Senna loses, the more chance Swanton and Pickle have got of jumping in with that penalty. But he is going for third now. Up to P3 goes Senna. Then Joker and Syme. Smug from Swanton. Mr. Pickle keeping on the back of him. Then a big gap to TMK and Sloth. It's Al Newt 50 Gent. Rouge Nico, Sainsy, Easy Life and the Hammer soldiers on. In fact, he's managing to stay just ahead of Easy Life to remain on the same lap as he. 50 Gent up the inside of Al Newt now. That's P11 for the Mercedes. Joker from Syme. Senna ahead of them. Collins got a penalty. Not going to cost him anything at this stage. Senna, that 10-second penalty is going to cost him at least 3 places, maybe 5 if Swanton and Mr. Pickle continue to close. Oh, big wobble from Mr. Pickle in the background there as Sloth takes TMK for P9. And Al Newt retakes P11 from 50 Gent. Some more overtaking being done now that the DRS is available, including... And Hammer's gone for another spin! And now he is a lap behind everybody as Easy Life eases away from him. 50 Gent and Al Newt having a battle again, and 50 retakes P11. TMK looking to strike back at the Sloth. Joker now going for Senna. And Joker back into P3. Syme looks on. Swanson needs to find just a little bit more in terms of pace to get to Senna with that 10-second penalty.
Evening blog. Hope you're well.
Good evening to Adkins in the chat. Be joining us at Silverstone later on. TMK on the outside of the Sloth that time for P9. Good battle those two are having. 50 seems to have shaken off our Newt now. Sloth back again on TMK. And that's P9 back for Sloth. Good battle those two are having. The battle for the podium still on. Joke up from Senna and Syme. Can Swanson get to within 10 seconds of Senna? It's close. He's about 11.5 at the moment. And it's going to be tight. Oh, Mr. Pickles dropped back by another 2.5 seconds now. He hung on with Swanson for quite a while. He seems to have dropped back now. More DRS for Senna and Syme. And maybe this is just Senna realising that with that penalty, in fact he's in the pits, so he's going to serve the penalty. Senna's going to serve the penalty. And that's going to drop him right down behind Mr. Pickle and Swanson, but ahead of Sloth potentially, who's still having a fight with TMK. Senna is coming back out and should be ahead. Our Newt couldn't get it stopped and is going to be switched back this time by Rouge Nico. Senna rejoins ahead of Sloth comfortably. Now he's going to try and chase down Mr. Pickle on the last few laps. Rouge Nico and Al Newt still battling away. Both have penalties. Syme hasn't given up on P3 from Joker. Everybody else nicely spaced at the moment. Both Haas drivers in battles further back. Syme up the inside. And into P3 goes the Mercedes. Joker will try and fight it though. And does up the inside.
Hello from Canada.
Hello from Canada to Max. That's why you're not in today. Good evening. Well,
hello, Max.
If you were tuning in to hope to see that Craggy wasn't winning,
hello,
then you'll be disappointed, because he is. And he may not have done, but for Colin having to pit for a second time. Colin had to pit for a second time after fitting intermediate tyres when it was going dry. And that potentially has cost him the victory. He's running comfortably in second at the moment.
Max will do Canada fancy face with tears of joy.
Syme and Joker are battling it out for the final podium spot. And Craggy's into the pits. Hang on just a minute. Hang on just a minute. Craggy's in the pits. And we thought he might have had it home and dry here. Suddenly, Colin is going to retake the lead. Colin retakes the lead of the race. He does have a 3-second penalty. It's a big risk for Craggy. I think he already had the fastest lap. But he comes back out in second. But Colin does have a 3-second penalty. Craggy backing his pace, of course. And giving us a more lively finish. Sloth just behind TMK. Senna, fastest lap of the race. So maybe Craggy saw that Senna went to softs late on and thought he'd need it for the fastest lap point. Senna too far back to Mr. Pickle, surely, with only 4 laps left. Craggy is going to be on the back of Colin very quickly indeed.
Come on, Senna.
He has showed remarkable pace today. Bazza cheering Senna on to try and close the gap to Mr. Pickle, but I think he's going to run out of laps, and out is the hammer! We've got a safety car! We've got a safety car! And that is going to really hurt Colin with the penalty. At this late stage, we have a safety car. Hammer is out. Joker and Syme have gone into the pits. The front two have gone through. Colin's going to be left a sitting duck here. Smug's in. Swanton is in. Mr. Pickle is going to have to slow down, I think, if he's coming in, which he is. Now, is Senna going to get away with any freebies here? No, Senna's going to pit again. So I thought Senna might have carried on. TMK is coming in. Sloth is coming in. 50 Gent is coming in. Rouge Nico is coming in. Now Newt Sainsey. And that just leaves Easy Life. So everybody except Colin. Everybody except Colin has come into the pits. And now, will the safety car Delta hold out? No, it won't. Because look at the gap to Joker now. It's closing rapidly. So if Colin pits now, he's going to drop down the order. And if he doesn't pit now, he's going to drop down the order because everybody's on soft tyres. This has really, really blown it for Colin. Even though he leads, now he's caught between a rock and a hard place. And he's going to have to stay out and try and get his elbows out, or hope that the safety car stays out for as long as it can. We only have 3 laps remaining. We only have 3 laps remaining. The field are spread out. So surely the safety car will be in this lap. Otherwise it'll be a 1-lap sprint race, which Colin would be happier with. But of course, with the 3-second penalty, either way, I think this is going to cost him a podium. But we shall see. At the moment, only as far back as Mr. Pickle are with the pack. Senna catching. Gap to TMK and Sloth. Senna now latches on. Surely the safety car is in this lap. We'll just take a quick look at the penalties there. 3 seconds for Al Newt, Rouge Nico, and crucially for Colin. And crucially for Colin, he is on old mediums and everybody else is on brand new soft compound tyres. Surely the safety car will be in this lap TMK yet to catch up.
It's gonna be a hell of a battle when the SC goes in.
TMK yet to catch up, along with Sloth 50. Rouge Nico.
When invites getting sent below.
It'll be the usual 9:45 for 10 PM start. Safety car is in this lap, and all of them haven't caught up yet. Colin backs them up nicely though, which helps the ones further back to catch up a bit. There is Sainsy just yet to tag on, but he's getting there. So Just Easy Life is going to miss out on this restart. Colin's got to do everything he can here for a 2-lap sprint race to the finish. Here we go. It's all to play for in Miami. 2 laps to the finish. Green flag racing once again. It's Colin from Craggy, Joker, Syme, Smug, Swanton, Mr. Pickle, Senna, TMK, Sloth, 50 Gent, Al Newt, Rouge Nico, Sainsy and Easy Life. No changes in the order so far on the restart. No DRS, remember, until the final lap. Craggy though, looking for a slipstream. Knows he doesn't have to risk it too heavily with Colin on a penalty. Colin goes deep into the corner. Colin may be needing the help of Joker here to get involved his teammate. As they all filter through, is Craggy going to be able to make the move? Is anyone following going to be close enough? Craggy up the inside of Colin. And Craggy retakes the lead. Smug made a move on Syme. They're going to battle side by side down the straight. Joker's got Colin for second. Smug and Syme side by side. Colin might just get in the way. Syme over the curb. Smug continuing into P4. This could be a podium for Smug. Syme from Swanton from Mr. Pickle. All very, very tight. Craggy's got away a bit. He's got the second gap to Joker. Thrilling end to this race. Smug making a move on Colin. Up the inside. Into P3 goes Smug. Mr. Pickle and Swanton side by side. And Swanton has edged him out. And Mr. Pickle now battled with Senna and TMK. Syme passing Colin. Swanton's going to do so as well. It's all gone wrong for Colin. Swanton passes Syme as well. It's a drag race in Miami. Colin's been disconnected right at the death. They're going to lose even more places, but Craggy wins in Miami. Joker comes home for second. Smug will be third from Swanton, Syme, Senna P6, Mr. Pickle, TMK, 50 Gent, Sloth, Colin in 11th from Sainsy, then Rouge Nico, Al Newt and Easy Life. What an end. What an end to the race. Unbelievable stuff. Smug, the driver of the day. But Craggy takes the win. Hammer says it's the worst race of his life. Well, that's what happens when you've been away for a little while, sir. The rains come back as we show you the results. Joker P2 with Smug on the podium. Swanton P4, Syme P5, Senna with the fastest lap of the race in P6 from Mr. Pickle in 7. TMK in P8. 50 Gem up to 9th. Good showing for him after the safety car. And Sloth in P10. Colin, unfortunate, drops to P11. Sainsey was 12. Rouge Nico 13 and Easy Life 14.
Well done,
Colin
well
was in a difficult place there because had he boxed, he'd have still had the penalty.
And well done, Smurf.
And the incident happened very quickly as he was going over the line as well. It was difficult for him. The real cost for Colin was the previous pit stop where he'd beaten everybody to it with the inters and then changed to inters by accident. That's the end of another DRS Monday. Be back next Monday, of course, from 8 PM as usual. But stay tuned. Well, not quite stay tuned as I'm going off for half an hour, but join me again in half an hour as Blobby Mondays goes to Silverstone. Still a couple of reserve spots available if anyone fancies it. Do drop me a message. Until then, I've been Blobby Butler. This has been DRS Mondays. Good night.